Hello everyone. I was doing this video on Instagram live, but for some reason, I don't know why, my iPad doesn't have a really good connection. So I'm doing this on YouTube live on my phone. I've never done this before, so I don't even know if I'm looking at the right camera. So just bear with me. Anyway, my name is Yashika. I am the founder of Yashika's Intuition, and what I do there is give tarot readings, but I'm also a Reiki master, so I do a lot around energy healing as well as astrology. Um, I was doing a lot of videos on here for a while, but then I got sick, and so I had to stop. So I'm just trying to rebuild my brand and just kind of give you information about what I'm passionate about, which are the energies that are available to us to help us on our life path and also to help you move past roadblocks when you're stuck. So, a healer, a nurse by trade, etc. The reason why I wanted to get on and talk today is because there's going to be a new moon coming up on June the 9th at about 6:10 a.m. in Sagittarius, and this is Pacific Standard Time. And like I said, I feel very passionately that there's a lot of tools, tricks, and things that give us hints about energy that are going on in our lives. And if we know more about them, I think that that empowers us to use them for our highest and best good. So that is my objective for talking to you today. I want to give you some information about just a bit about a full moon in general, but a lot about this actual full moon that's coming up. So, first of all, just in a general sense, full moon energy is an energy around illumination, especially illuminating opposites or juxtapositions that are happening in our lives. It is a time of culmination. So, if you've been working on things, this is where you see the results of what you've been working on. But this is also where you see the results of things that are culminating that maybe you haven't put any effort into that maybe you should have. So, it could be a time of crisis or a time where you feel that things are a little bit negative. So, it can go either way. So, illuminations, juxtapositions, it's a time where you have access to subconscious energy, and that's that deep underlying energy. Some people call it shadow energy and feel like it's a great time to work on that. But, and sorry if this is shaky because I have to hold it since I have to be impromptu with my phone. But anyway, so you can tap into subconscious energy, which is also positive because you can use this energy to tap into the divine, to spirituality, to creativity, to femininity. This could go negative around obsessions, compulsions, addictions, and that type of thing. But like I said, we'll think about how we can use these positively for our highest and best good. And then this is also a time where you can tap into some deep emotions, which could also be positive or negative depending on how that goes. Like I said, things usually feel a little bit uncomfortable when we go into that space, but that doesn't always mean that things are negative. And then this is a time of truth because things are shining brightly on some things that may have been hidden from you in the past. So you get to see truth or revelations about things that were otherwise hidden from you. And then you also have that release. It's a good time to let go of and release things that don't serve you. So let's get into specifically some points about this full moon in Sagittarius. Due to some aspects of this full moon, I feel like some of us may feel that it's a little bit heavy and maybe a little bit intense. I've looked at some of the things going on and I see things around relationships. And that could be compulsions, obsessions, jealousy, those type of things. But even around your finances, some things coming up that you may have been aware of, or some things that you may not have been aware of, may come to the surface. And it could be positive or negative in these instances because sometimes truth brings beauty into relationships, And sometimes revelations about money can be positive or negative depending. So I just wanted to let you know how this information could go either way. But you are going to feel some heavy, intense feelings, no doubt, on June 9th as that full moon comes into play. I feel like because it's coming in the daytime, it's a time where you can really sit with this full moon, especially since the days are getting longer and longer leading up into the summer. So a good time to still be able to access that energy that is available to us on the ninth and use it for our highest and best good. So I said it may feel heavy and it may feel intense. Another thing going on with this full moon is this play or this dance or tug of war between your higher mind and your lower mind. So you have the sun is in Gemini at the same time and they're looking right across from each other. So are you coming from your intuition and trusting yourself, who you are, your values, and your philosophies? Or are you being overly curious and looking for other people or other things to tell you the answers to certain things in your life that maybe you need to start trusting and believing and seeking within yourself? I think you're going to find that a lot of times we feel like we know what's going on, or we think we have all the information, or we have the full picture, only to find out that we still have some maturing to do and some more information that needs to be had. And I think that you'll also find that come into play, especially since we're only in the beginning degrees of Sagittarius, or the earlier degrees of Sagittarius toward the middle. Um, you're not quite there yet. So you're going to feel that you're going to have some obstacles and roadblocks come in. And like I said, it could be around finances or relationships, but it just could be because we've all felt shitty for quite a while and have been wanting to feel better. And I think we get these little hints or like these little teasers that the information's or the energy is going to get a little bit better, and then what happens, we find that no, it feels about just as shitty as it was before, or maybe 10% better than it had before. And so these roadblocks are meant to tell us that there's still more that we need to learn, more that we need to experience, and more that we need to find out and be curious about and expand about before we can actually move forward and start implementing whatever it is that's going to help us expand and help us grow. A lot of you need to make the shift between that lower mind. I call it the local mind. It's like you only think about what you were exposed to in your limited worldview instead of expanding beyond that point. And for some of you, this is going to have to do with school, communications, travel, all those type of things may come into play because we may find that it's a little bit uncomfortable to sit in this lower state of mind or be around people that are in a lower state of mind instead of rising up and moving forward and expanding. And we'll feel that deep inside our soul and we'll want to move forward on this, but may not quite know why. And I want you to know that that's natural. You're not going to know exactly why or what needs to happen. So don't beat yourself up about it. The important thing is to know that if there's information or truth coming in with this moon, is to actually just sit with it and trust it and work through whatever it brings into your life before you try to move forward, because like I said, the obstacles and roadblocks are going to be normal. You need to ask yourself during this time, do you have all the information? Because like I said, I feel like some of us will not have all the information. I think we'll have things shown to us that will help inform us as we get ready to put one foot in front of the other. But if we think that what we're shown is the full picture and that we're meant to move forward very quickly with that information, I think you're going to find very quickly that that is not the case. So make sure you just take everything with a grain of salt. You stay grounded in the information and really be deliberate about what you're going to do with whatever this full moon brings into your life as you move forward. And if you try to take shortcuts, especially because Saturn is aspected within this full moon, I think you are going to find that you are going to have a quick reality check. So just make sure that you are aware of that, because I don't think it's just meant for us to go for it quite yet. And so Because I said one of the things that full moons can help us do is let go, I want to tell you about a few things that you can do to help get in touch with this full moon energy that, like I said, is available starting at 6 a.m. or 6:10 a.m. Pacific time on the 9th and available all day. And one of the things you can do is much like I talked about with the new moon about writing down things. And for this time, since it's a full moon and it's about release, writing down things that you need to let go of, and then you can either rip them up or you can burn them to kind of release them, to say you're letting go of those things, like you're shedding those things are no longer serving you. And when you do that, have intention around the fact that you fully intend and believe that whatever you've written down on that one sheet of paper, and do one sheet of paper for each thing, you fully intend to let go of whatever it is that you wrote down on the paper. And you also can get outside and just be in nature and say prayers, because I think that that will be helpful for you. And prayers for where you want your life to go moving forward and what you want to get rid of are the things that I think you really need to focus on. Um, and then the last thing, or a different version of different things you can do, is if you have access to clean water like a beach or a lake or pool, I think it's a good time to really just submerge yourself in water, because water is very, very healing, very cleansing, and also comes along with that moon type energy. And then if you don't, I think if you have access to a bathtub, I think that being in a tub, and when you're submerging yourself in whatever type of water you have access to, I think it's important to kind of say a prayer or intention or have a conversation with God or whoever it is that you believe in, to let them know what it is that you want to let go of and to ask them to help you with that. Some people like angels for those type of conversations. So to recap, we have a full moon coming up on June 9th. The energies can be a little bit intense. There may be some roadblocks coming up, especially around relationships or your finances, or um, your mental state of mind, and being in a more local mind versus a more broad state of mind, and some things that you can do to help let go of this negativity as you work through these blocks that we feel like we're continuing to have, are to get outside, say a prayer, to jump in water, to take a bath because water is very healing, and to just write down some things that are going on in your life that you know are not serving you, or you know you need to get rid of, or whatever is shown to you during this full moon that feels uncomfortable and you know you want to release it. These are some things for you to write down. So, before I let you go, I didn't talk a lot about this full moon. So, if you are just itching for more information about it, I also have a video with the horoscope for June the 5th through June the 11th. And I think I talked a little bit about the full moon in that horoscope. So, I always give out weekly horoscopes here now that I'm feeling better. So, make sure you check those out. But also on Instagram, I do daily readings. So make sure you check my information out, because that can take you to my Instagram if you feel lost, or if you feel like, hey, I'm moving forward, but then it feels like I'm not getting anywhere. I know that's how I've been feeling. And so those little daily reminders and those daily messages help you to be unstuck. And then if you feel like you want even more guidance from me, I do have a website, Yashika's Intuition, where I put more in-depth videos, more in-depth weekly horoscopes, and I have a more in-depth tarot reading for the full moon. Jupiter is also going to direct on the 9th, so that's something positive that can help you feel like you have an assistant to help you get through this shitty time. And I think that's it. So make sure you check out all those avenues. If you feel like me, you feel stuck and you just feel like you want some help trying to get through everything. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.